Joe Biden says we are not in recession. And of course, you've heard we've now had 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP, which to the economists is the definition of a recession. And so we've got this debate going on. Listen, I don't care about the GDP numbers. What I do, though, is agree with Biden that we are not currently in recession. I'm a common sense guy. I live in a big city and I drive around. Here's why we're not in recession right now. Number one, travel is just as crazy as it's been. With trailer trucks, cars, no one, even with high gas prices, no one is getting off the roads. In a recession, you're going to see a great slowdown. Everywhere I drive, I see help wanted signs. In a recession, you don't have those. You don't have enough jobs. Went to Olive Garden this week, had to wait in line for over 30 minutes. That's not going to be the case in a recession. You'll be able to go to Olive Garden without any line being there. People will be pulling back on their spending. That's what happens in a recession. So I agree with Biden on that point, but that's as far as it goes, because moving from that point, Biden, his administration, and Democrats in general are utter fools when it comes to economic growth and how to get us out of this terrible situation. Now, we've also learned this week the Fed has raised interest rates 3/4 of a point. Not huge. They're doing it slowly, hoping it will not take them, because here's the deal. If they are the only way out of inflation, they will destroy our economy, where it's just raising rates. And of course, inflation is still raging. Now, here's the problem with Biden and Democrats when it comes to the economy. They believe the answer is government-controlled economy, government-managed, bureaucratic-managed economy. That is disastrous. And I remind you, that's the reason we're in the mess now. All of this is 100% on the backs of government. And somehow they're going to get us out of this? No, it's just not going to happen. Just one example, COVID. It was the government that shut everything down. And then just blew money out with fans all over the country. That's the big reason we jumped into this terrible mess as quickly as we did. So what's got to happen? Really 3 things. You need to stop or reduce government spending. You need to reduce taxes. You need to reduce regulations so these companies can produce more. That's what creates GDP. But guess what Biden and the Democrats are going to do? You probably heard Joe Manchin did a deal with his own party. Now Build Back Better is back, and with all the climate change stuff. And do you know what all of that represents? A whole lot more government spending. More taxes, way more regulations. They already have businesses handcuffed with the regulations, and now there's going to be even more. You know, a good example of this is Biden called a meeting of all the oil company executives come to the White House recently. They all showed up, and they came with waivers. Now, Biden didn't even go to the meeting. He sent Granholm as energy secretary. These waivers were just asking that some of these regulations be loosened or done away with temporarily, because they can't produce, and they certainly can't do it quickly or effectively with all of these chains on them. All were denied. If you think Build Back Better and more government spending, more taxes, if you think this is the way out of our whatever this economic woe period is, then you need to join the club of fools that Joe Biden is the head of.